Hey everybody, welcome to the video. So in this short tutorial, what we're going to be going over is how we can use the ChatGPT 3.5 in our studio. And so before I get started, it's worth mentioning that there is a great video on YouTube by the YouTuber, I believe his name is gg. And what she goes over is how to use the gptChatter package. And so this is a great package. It's very simple and easy to use, very intuitive, and you're able to communicate with ChatGPT using your API key. However, the model which is used is the DaVinci-003. And even though that is a more complex model, it is more expensive. So let's look over that real quick. So we can see here that for the DaVinci model, it's going to be 3 cents per token. But when we look at the GPT 3.5 Turbo, it's 0.002 cents per token, so 0.002 of a cent. So the GPT 3.5 Turbo is cheaper. And so for some of the tasks which I am doing, such as using ChatGPT to clean data, we're passing back and forth a lot of data, so it makes more sense to use the cheaper version. And so that's what I want to show you today. And so the way that we're going to use this is using the HTTR library. And the reason why we need to use this is for this post function. And so once you assign your key to the API key, and then the prompt that you want, you just assign it to the variable called prompt. You're going to run the post function as well as it's assigned to the variable of response. And then we're going to isolate the reply text that we want. That's part of the response using this code here. And then we can just print our response. We see we have the response, hello, which is the response to our prompt, hello, ChatGPT. And so with this in mind, you are able to, you're ready to rock and roll using this post function, and I'll include this in the description, so you can just copy and paste it and be on your way. If you have some more interest, I'm going to go over now what these arguments are within this function here, and that way you would be able to maybe make some configuration adjustments if that's what you need while using your API or the ChatGPT API. So let's look at that really quickly. So the first thing that we have here is going to be the post function, which is part of the HTTR package. And then the first argument is going to be the URL, which we're going to be submitting the data to. This is the data which contains the prompt, which we developed. And then with that, we're going to add a header, which has the API key. And then we're going to be pasting this barrier text with the API key that is provided. And I just have it saved in a variable called API key. And then the next thing we're going to be telling the post function what type of data we're sending, which is a JSON file, and that is specified here. And then next is the actual data that we're sending. So the first argument is going to be the model that we specify. In this case, it's the GPT 3.5 Turbo. And then there's also the temperature option, which we can adjust. So for example, in this case, I have it set to very low, which means that it's more deterministic, which it means that the response is going to have less randomness included in the response. And so for my case, I usually submit very specific instructions within my prompt how I want the data to be cleaned. And so by having the temperature very low, that makes the result more predictable. But you can configure it how you need it. And then the last is the message, which includes the role, and then as well as the prompt, which we developed. And so with this in mind, you should have a little more understanding of what is going on within the post function. But if you are just interested in using it straight out of the box, you can go ahead. I will adjust this to 1. 0.5, I think that's the default value. And that way, when I submit the code, the temperature is going to be set to the default value, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. All right, if you found this helpful, I would really appreciate it if you liked and as well as subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting more videos on how we can use language models similar to those used by ChatGPT within RStudio, and specifically how we can develop applications within Shiny App. And that's all I have for now. Until next time, thanks for watching.